All right, good morning, guys. So we're back at Elysian for another 6 a.m. workout training session. I think right now it's about 6:11, 6:12. I've just kind of been getting my little area ready. It's kind of crazy how bright it is in here when the garage door is open, but then again, you know, it is dark outside, so I don't think it would really, well, I don't know. I mean, like, would the light escape? Were the light inside dim? I don't know. I'm tripping out. It's like 6 a.m. I'm actually feeling a little tired this morning, but that's okay. I hope you guys like the shirt. Got the OG Pokemon starters in their third evolution. I'm trying to decide like how to do this because I hate having a mess by where I train, so I'm trying to be like very nifty about this and only take out what I need and essentially put away everything I'm not using. So let's see what we have on the program today. I know yesterday I kind of like had some numbers in mind, but let's just like take a look at it. So I have a triple at RPE 5 to 6. Let's have the 903. At RP7. Yeah, I don't know. So I did Iron Plus, right? And I put, if I did 903 at a single at RPE 7, and if I wanted to do a triple at RPE 6, that's 825. You know, that might be a little too heavy for right now. So let's drop it down to 5, and it's 800. What would that be, like 362.5 kilos? I mean, if I feel good, that is my absolute top end, and that is if I feel good. So I'm not gonna get married to it. I'm not gonna like try to force it, you know. So we'll see. I might end up doing 600 for 3, but I hope I feel good. All right, but let's go ahead and start warming up. I'm gonna go do 5 to 10 minutes on the treadmill, finish my energy drink, fill up my water gallon, clean up my area, and then we'll go ahead and get started going. But I want to make a little side note. So today we are going to be lifting on the Xmaster plates. Let's see if you guys can see them. Yeah. So we're gonna be lifting with these shiny plates right here. Xmaster sent these to me a very long time ago, but just because there was a few bumps that Josh needed to like overcome a little bit, I didn't really quite get to like train on them when I got them. And so might as well do it today, you know? Might as well give them a spin, you know, kind of let you guys know what I think, how I rate them, like what I think their price to performance ratio is, and if they're worth a cop, you know, because obviously like I'm very familiar with the Eleiko plates. Like that's what I've been training on for a long part of my career. I compete with them, you know. I've trained with the Hansu plates before. They're like very comparable to the Eleiko plates. I've trained with like TSS plates, Rogue plates, ZKC plates. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them a spin, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Okay, so just based off the initial touch, they're not as slippery as you would think them to be. They're actually, I don't know if it's like the coat that makes them look like super shiny, but it does offer pretty decent grip. And I do want to preface that they are like, they're actually not as thin as they look. They're like somewhere between TSS and like a Lyco thickness. All right, let's go, baby. If you want something to get after, come on. Come on, something. You gotta have something more powerful than caffeine. You gotta have something more powerful than nicotine. It's gotta come from that damn chest. Oh, I got sweat in my eye. Put some work into that, baby. I feel like we're missing the 15 kilo pair. That's a 25-10, 22-5. But I don't know where the 15s are. Chat, should we go 290 and then jump from 290 to 360? What is that? A 50 kilo jump? Oh, have a better solution called quick math, baby. All right, there you go. 300. I'm gonna rest a little bit before this one. Okay, let's hit this set, baby. 300 kg for one. Whew, that actually wasn't too bad. It's at the point where I could, or I might not, but 700 will probably move about the same. So there's honestly no wrong answer. There isn't. That's just the truth. Let me watch this vid and then I'll decide. Okay guys, so I'm kind of starting, cause I'm 95% sure I'll get the 800 triple done. My only caveat, my only qualm is I don't want it to be harder than it needs to be. Does that make sense? Like, it should be an RPE 5 to 6, right? So even if it's sub max below that cap, that's still a W. So what I'm kind of leaning towards is more like maybe 766, 771. Yeah, we should have to change plates to hit that number. But honestly, just to kind of give like a mid warm-up review so far, honestly, the plates are feeling great. You know, they're feeling great. They're comp standard, you know, so there's honestly, like, there's only so much deviation you're actually going to experience when you're warming up or training or competing with equipment that is essentially like 99 to 95% identical to the field, right? I don't think I'll really be able to get like a super accurate idea until I load these plates for like a 900, 2,000 pound squat. Because at that point, I'm gonna be able to feel like, okay, like due to the slight, due to the slight thinness compared to the Lyco, like maybe it's less slippy, right? Or et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, like right now, honestly, like they feel good for deadlifts. Everything feels nice, compact and tight. So, you know, we're wheeling and grooving, you know, having a good day so far. We're about to go up the top set, you know. Got to make sure that this is a super crispy triple. And you know, I'm gonna try to get like good, comfortable holds in between each one. And then I'm gonna try to hold that last rep for at least like 5 seconds, you know, and I'm gonna start doing that moving forward, because I think that was an element of grip work that I kind of missed out on last prep. Was I should have been more anal with my top set holds, like way more anal than I was. So I think that's gonna have a lot of good carryover going into nationals. So hopefully, you know, we're gonna pull out Thursday this time, baby, fingers crossed. Guys, this is how you know I've been reading too much Blue Lock lately. I couldn't help myself. I promised I really was gonna do like mid 700s with the cap of 770, but I just looked at these plates and they were talking to me like the Green Goblin mask, and I just heard them call me a coward, and it's just like the ego in my heart, it just flared up, you know, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, why am I going back? I told myself I was gonna do something. Why am I reeling back? But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Like, this is still within my realm. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get this place loaded, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm not gonna lie, that was an ugly set. Ugly set. Because I was just straight raw dogged it. Pause, no diddy. Whew. It's like I can tell my hands aren't like accustomed to this, so whoo. Hey, but that was like, shit was good, baby. Whew. All right, guys, so that was a good, okay. So it felt a little off because my hips kept shooting up. And I did have my belt a little bit looser on that set. So I think it's just gonna be a few weeks of refinement to just make sure that like my form is, you know, crispy. I always want to make sure that my form is crispy, and I don't want to like start pulling like a Neanderthal, right? But just for strength to be at this point, like right now, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. So what we have now, I need to save this thing. It's a 2x6 at 5, and what I'll probably do is I'll probably just drop down to 4 reds and just do straps, you know, making sure that I'm symmetrical. You know, there's no reason for me to like, because that's something that I want to work on, and I think that's also something else that tied into my shoulder getting messed up and my pec getting messed up working on this prep. I just think I need to start flipping my grip or throwing in straps a lot more, because when I'm working straps or flipping my grip, I do feel a pretty good significance in terms of like a difference. I hope that wasn't just a lot of words for a whole lot of nothing. I hope it makes sense. But yeah, so let's go ahead and change the weights, and we'll keep on going with our workout. You know, really need to try to get everything done in like 30-40 minutes, so let's keep it going. We're about to do a 3x8. I'm gonna start off with three plates, see how that feels, and then if I feel good, I'll just add a plate every time. But I'm really just trying to get my legs ready for next week, you know, because start loading some real weight next week for squats. let's go to the 4-5. Ooh, my legs feel small right now. No quarter, no quarter. Something that you guys gotta understand is you can't give yourself time to walk it back. It's in your nature to think of how to make it easier. It's in your blood to seek comfort, to seek stability, to seek that easy shit. Now, this might seem a little overrated considering we're just doing 5 plates on high squat, but when I was at 3 plates, the first thought that came into my head was stay at 3 plates. And I was like, no, I can't. It was too easy. When I put 4 plates and I finished that set, the first thing that popped into my head was stay at 4 plates. It felt moderately easy. No, it was too easy. So I went ahead and loaded that 5th plate, because when you give yourself time to argue with yourself, because think about it like this, right? 50% of the victory is believing you can do it. That's literally 50%, right? The minute that you give opportunity for that belief in yourself to be argued, you're starting to go downhill. You have to stay within that maximum 50% of self-belief if you want to make that magic happen, if you want to make that success happen. You can't give yourself an opportunity to be like, oh, okay, well, I should stay here. No, add that plate, add a little bit more, push a little harder, hold yourself accountable. Just like that. Whew. And that was a good set. All right, let's keep on moving. This workout's actually starting to turn into a bit of a banger, because you guys know, like, when you train fasted and then the hunger and fatigue kick in. That's where I'm at. I'm having to fight through that, like that hunger expression. All right, guys, last accessory of the day. I would like to do some leg curls, but I think some of my muscles, especially in my hamstrings, well, context. So, historically speaking, overworking my hamstrings, they like 80% of the time they cramp up. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm like hydrated or not. Honestly, to avoid that cramping, I have to like essentially overhydrate. But I don't know, my hamstring's just been feeling very crampy lately, so I don't know if that had just something to do with like training so early, but I'll probably throw in some leg curls tomorrow, and that's just on the safer side because I'm benching. I'm gonna train upper body back movements, arms and shoulders. So I think the taxation shouldn't be as bad, right? So the likelihood of me cramping should like plummet. Ooh. I'm gonna do 30-second rest period. But, and I guess we can go ahead and wrap up the video here, guys. But you know, final review. Honestly, like I think they're a really good plate. You know, they're not too thin, right? And that was an issue that I had with the TSS plates, was that they were just too thin and thin enough to affect like 1 to 2% on 900 plus, which might seem like not that much, but trust me, it plays a role when you're trying to simulate those competition weight ranges as close as possible. So, and even though they're like glossy and shiny, they're not as slippery as they look, you know. I didn't have a single problem today loading them. You know, they felt chill putting on, you know. And then on the bar, you know, they didn't really, I mean, I honestly don't even know how to judge plates, you know, aside from how they affect my top ends, you know. But honestly, like if you guys are looking to get some shiny chrome plates, I think these are an excellent choice, you know. I'm not sure how I don't have my phone. Actually, time out. Let's look up how much they cost, and then I'll be able to give you guys my final consensus on terms of like how good they are in terms of like their market pricing. All right, so I remember it was about like estimated $3,000 for the kit that they sent me, and I think they sent me, so I have how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They sent me 8 pairs of reds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so they sent me 8 pairs of reds, which is 380 kilos, plus a pair of blues, which is 420. And I'm pretty sure they sent me a pair of 15s too, but I have no idea where they are at the gym. You know, like I swear I saw them like a month ago, so I don't know where they could have gone, if I'm being honest. Like who just misplaces a pair of like kilogram plates? So 380, 420, 450, 470, 480, 485. So they sent me about 500 kilos worth in plates, you know, so $3K for 500 kilos worth of plates. Honestly, that's not a bad deal, right? I feel bad because I don't have like knowledge of how much 500 kilos worth of plates would cost. Like, you know, I know for sure Eleiko is way more. The Eleiko plates are way more expensive. I think Rogue is a little bit more comparable because Rogue is usually like that middleman where it's like decent quality for decent price. So yeah, I think it was like 3,000 estimate for almost 500 kilos worth of plates, guys. So honestly, I give them an 8 out of 10. You know, I think they're solid. They look pretty, like they feel pretty solid, you know. But again, you know, I don't feel comfortable giving it anything more than an 8 out of 10 simply because I haven't loaded anything over 900 pounds on squat, you know. So maybe, actually, I don't know, unless they move these plates closer to a rack, I probably am not gonna move 1,000 to 900 pounds worth of weights just to squat on it. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you guys are in the market for some shiny plates, some chrome, I think these are I think they're pretty solid, you know. Decent, you know, and this isn't like a sponsored video or anything. Like, they didn't pay me or nothing. They just wanted to send these plates out for me to test, you know, and I'm just glad that I get to come around to finally making that video, you know, like 3 months later. So, you know, shout out to Xmaster for sending these over, you know, and we can have them at Elysian for the community to use. But, you know, and then all in all, not a bad training session today, you know. Managed to pull 801 for 3, you know. Honestly, probably had another 2 to 3 reps. So not an RPE 5 to 6. You know, that was a greedy set, but when I was loading the plates, they just like, I was gonna load 340, 350, but in my head, I'm like, okay, like how much of a difference is 363 and a half from 350? It's just 13 and a half kilos difference. So I was like, kind of like how I was saying earlier, you know, if you give yourself time to argue, most of the time, like, you're gonna want to argue down, but in instances like this, you know, like, it's not always good to argue up, right? I'm just very fortunate that 800 pounds is like, you know, not my max. You know, I can smack 800 like that if I want to. So, you know, and then hack squat felt good, leg extensions felt good. You know, I didn't really push those accessories incredibly hard, but I pushed them like at a good pace where it's gonna set me up for the rest of this block, right? This is week 1, and I feel like I'm gonna be able to build on top of this. So I'm happy, you know, good training session. I did all my accessories, all my sets, all my reps, and, you know, get out of here feeling healthy and get back to the family. So